So today we're going to talk about the take system. So what is the take system? The take system is a way to tell Cinema 4D how to organize your scene when you make multiple changes and save them inside the file as iterations without the need to make new files. You can also base your takes on different changes in camera angles, and you can have multiple angles for a shot. It can easily store your user data and save them for use at a later time. It's easy, convenient, and I've had many times where I wish I could recall things from a previous iteration of my file, and I could do that with takes. There's also many things you can use takes for, including creating things like chroma keys and mats for your object. So let's say it's 5 p.m. and it's the end of the day and you want to go home, but you have to set off a render for overnight. The take system can easily consolidate the things you need to render overnight into one file. So let's get started. Now I'm going to start off by making, let's say, just a cube. So here's an example of how you can make a chroma key for compositing uses later on. A chroma key allows us to use color to separate an object from its background. So in this cube, I'm just going to assign it a simple material, standard redshift material, and I'm going to make it red. So now we have one color, but I want it to change to another color. Let's say it is green. And I want to have the green be my chroma key, so that if I bring it into a compositing program later on, I can be able to edit out the alpha of this object and be able to use it as an alpha matte. And then I'm going to go to my takes menu, which is right next to the object menu, and undock it. So I want this object to be able to change color, right? But the only thing that takes cannot do is change the material. So I bring this material into here and it changes the color in the viewport, but I'm not going to be able to change that color in the take. So what I want to do is clone the object. So I have my cube here. I'm going to alt click and then drag and then make another object and delete this object material and make it the green material. So right now I have my main take, which is just the basic scene right now and how things are stored in this basic scene. I want to make a new take. So I'm going to click on this new take button and then I'm going to turn on auto take. And then I'm going to apply changes to my scene. So what I want for this scene, I want this cube to be visible and this cube to be invisible. So I'm going to turn off the primary visibility of the second cube. So this I'm going to name object base color. So now that I have the primary visibility off, it's going to record the action inside of this take. So you can see here, it says objects, cube, basic properties, primary visibility off, viewport visibility, rendered visibility off. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to make a take with this green material that I'm going to use as a chroma key. So I'll go to new take, and then as you can see, it automatically resets it so that the visibility is on. So then in this take, I'm going to make the primary visibility of the base color off. And there we go. It automatically creates the properties based on what you did inside of the objects menu and to this cube, and it records it. So now I have two takes. One of them I'm going to name chroma key, and one of them has the base color on, this base color, and one of them has the chroma key on. The chroma key from the green that you're going to later use in compositing to take out the alpha. So the next scene we're going to take a look at is this bottle scene that I have, which is like a product shot If you look at it, it's just this medicine bottle. And I want to do something with these cameras. So I've already made cameras uh, of different angles I want to showcase this product with, like left side tilt, left side, right side. What I want to do is to set up everything in the render queue so that it renders out all these different cameras. So what I can do is use takes to do so. So I go to Windows, go to Take Manager, and I turn on my auto take button here, and then I add a new take. So the first thing I want to do is name this. I'm going to name it left side tilt camera, and then I'm going to go to my left side tilt camera and click view through it. As you can see here, the camera icon lights up. So that means that it's recorded as action inside of this take. So if I go back to the main take by clicking this little viewing icon here, it goes back to my front camera, and then it goes to my left side camera. So what I can then do is to go to my render settings and go to add to render queue. And as you can see, there's a little section called take here. And it's going to have my left side tilt take, which is using my left side tilt camera. And do the rest of my cameras. So add, change to that camera, rename the take, left side. Add, go to that camera, rename the take, right side. So I have multiple takes here, and I can just select the viewport from that take, go to render settings, add to render queue, and then you can see my take is my left side, and it's using my left side camera. And that's how we render out multiple cameras using the take system. So the next shot we're going to take a look at is this pinball machine, and in it I have several cameras with different frame ranges, and I usually label the frame ranges of the cameras to the cameras themselves. So let's say we're in shot 1, it's 0 to 52, so I go to 0 to 52, and I go to the viewport of that camera, and it shows me the first shot, and then I go to the next shot, and it says 54 to 114, and I go to that frame range, and it shows me the next shot. So this helps when I have the same elements in a scene and I want to have different cameras recording different frame ranges inside of the scene. So what I want is to render out each one of these cameras with their appropriate frame ranges, and I'm going to do that using takes. So I go to my take manager, and then I'm going to go to auto take, turn auto take on, and then switch back to my main camera, which is usually my first camera, and then add new take, and then switch to my second camera. So it goes to that camera, but I don't have a frame range that I can specify inside of the takes. So what I want is to specify the frame range for this take. So first thing I'm going to do is rename this take shot 02, and then I'm going to go to render settings and create a new render setting. I'm going to rename this also shot 02, and I'm going to label the frame range as 54 to 114, which is what I have. So as you can see, this new render setting completely changes the output format. So I have to remember to make this 1080 by 1920. And then I'm going to change frame range inside of this new render setting to 54 to 114. Then I can also change the output path. So that gives me a convenient way to have the same Cinema 4D file render out different shot cameras. So I'm going to do the same thing with my third camera. To make sure auto take is turned on, go to new take, and then switch it to my third camera. And you can see that the camera button lights up, which means that I've recorded that information. And then go to render settings, new render setting, and shot 3 is what I'm going to name it, and the frame rate is 120 to 172. And then I have to respecify the aspect ratio 1080 by 1920 and change this frame range inside of this new render setting to 120 by 172. And there we go.
If you like that video, please subscribe to my channel, School of CG, for more tips and tutorials. Have a great day.